Okay, so cool use case number 2. My youngest daughter, Annabelle, who you remember me holding her in my arms in an early challenge, has just finished her VCE, her high school exams, sort of before you go to college or university, the equivalent of the SATs in the United States. I was helping her study for her business exam. She had a study summary document. Thought, let's try this. I uploaded the document, which was a PDF, into ChatGPT, and it gave me a summary. So here we go. Annabelle was studying and said, hey, ChatGPT, can you drill me on that PDF document I just uploaded? I was doing this via voice as well, just to see if it would be cool. And it said, yeah, I'll quiz you based on the topics from the document. Anytime you ask an AI to ask you some questions, it always rapid fires. Typically, you need to ask it to do it one at a time. That's fine. It whipped out a bunch of questions, which is fantastic. This is just brilliant. What is a CSR practice? What are the 3 steps in the 3 steps model? I was sitting with Annabelle and asking these questions. I then said, hey, can you ask me an example question based on a VC example question? You could tell I was using voice, by the way. So it was, you probably argue that my writing doesn't actually make any sort of sense anyway. However, again, ChatGPT, fortunately, is very accommodating, as are we when speaking, particularly if you're listening to me. I rarely finish sentences. So here was a question that I was able to ask. And initially I was asking Annabelle, and we talked through the question, and I was figuring out what those things mean because I didn't know. So I was typing into ChatGPT while she was answering the question so I could figure it out. Here's a question about 4-drive theory, and I didn't know, so I wanted to see. And here's the different things, and I was drilling her on that, which was really cool. So could you give me some more short questions, one at a time? So now here's where it got cool, right? This is the cool part. Now I asked the question and then I hit record on chat. I could have done it as a conversation, but at the time, the conversation sometimes jumps in and out and little bits and pieces. So I didn't want to have that bothering Annabelle. So I just used the record function, which is the little microphone here next to the black and white piece right in the bottom right-hand corner of this video as you're watching it. That allows you to have a back and forth conversation, which is a lot of fun when you do brainstorming. Now, when I'm walking, I'll often just have that on and I can talk through an idea, even if it's not perfect, and I'll have a transcript of the idea when I get back from my walk, which is really cool, by the way. If I go in and copy a particular part of this, it's in Markdown. So I use Obsidian. It's a document Word, but it's so much more than that, sort of like my knowledge system, if you will. Second brain, I suppose, is what a lot of people call it. This copies in Markdown, so it looks really good when I copy it over into Obsidian, and that's what I'm doing here. Eventually, you'll see the article I send out on the little blue report as part of this. Anyway, hit record and Annabelle would answer the question. What's the difference between a sole trader and a partnership business structure? Prepared to hear Gen Z type language. For sole traders, you have one owner, a main stakeholder. In a partnership, you can have anywhere from 2 to 50, but they're basically the same in terms of structure. Anything else? And she was asking me anything else. And so I just hit enter, and here's what ChatGPT said. Fantastic, right? I thought, oh, this is interesting. Okay, let's ask the next question. Corporate culture and the difference between official corporate culture and real corporate culture. Corporate culture is the values and beliefs of a business. Real corporate culture is what actually occurs within the business and the actions associated with it. So if you asked an employee what their opinion was, then they would probably give you the real. But official is what the company wants to portray to the public. That can be through hard copy documents like values, vision statements, mission statements, stuff like that. Fortunately, she's way more coherent than her father. GPT goes on, spot on, you've covered it well, which is great. So here we go, just in time, inventory management. I asked for some more fresh short answer questions because we're going backwards and forwards. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. Just from a study approach, this was a great interaction. It was me, Annabelle was there. We were also using ChatGPT. It made the study session way more dynamic. And if it's more dynamic, you can remember things. But there's something far more powerful about this. I'm wondering if you're noticing. She's doing questions, name 2 stakeholders in the business and briefly describe their interests. Annabelle said employees, they want to make money, etc. Nice work. You've touched on the core interests of several stakeholders. What's the main goal of lean management in operations? To ensure smooth processes from input to finished output. Ensuring a smooth process is definitely part of it. Have you noticed what a brilliant, like if you taught tutoring, right? If you taught best practice tutoring, one of the key things you want to do as a tutor is to be encouraging, use encouraging language, and all add to their knowledge. Now, in the old days, or if you're a father, you say, oh, no, that's wrong. No, this is what you need to do. Check this out. Good answer. Ensuring a smooth process is definitely part of it. Saying it in a good way to expand a bit is key. The main goal of lean management. Through this whole session, by the end of the session, I reckon, we went for ages. Like it was probably 40, 50 minutes all up. By the end of this, Annabelle went into this exam, which was the following day, realizing that she actually knew a lot more than what she thought. Typical kid going into an exam, thinking they know nothing. The way that ChatGPT was able to take that initial study document, that cheat sheet guide, and then be able to drill and ask questions based on that. What an incredible use of AI.